Thank you for having me. I'm super excited to be here. My name is Valencia Lawrence, and I own CL Residential and Leverage for Legacy.
Okay, and what does CL stand for?
So, CL are the initials of all four of my children. And so
Ah,
I wanted to be a family business, a legacy business. I've been in real estate for over 16 years, and they help me with a lot of things, and I want that to continue. I want them to take it on into the
fly
future.
and soar
Yeah.
and take it. That's beautiful. I love that. I
Yeah.
love that little family dynamic that you've got going on there.
Thank you.
Of course. And for your real estate, is it commercial? Is it residential? Is it both?
So primarily, I focus on residential. I'm an associate broker in Virginia, Maryland, DC, and I am licensed in the state of Florida. It's my heartbeat. Yes.
Okay.
So I focus on residential, but I do have clients that I assist with commercial because they're like, hey, I'm a business owner. You help me find my house. I need you to help me find a commercial space for my business.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
And now tell me a little bit about your story, your background, how you got started, what led you to this career, and what's led you to where you are today.
I love it. So, undergrad, I am a chemical engineer by degree. So when I got out, I worked in corporate, but I always had a passion for houses. So when everyone else had graduated and they were buying brand new cars, I had a decision to make. Am I going to buy a brand new car or am I going to buy a house? And I opted for the house. And I'm really glad that I did because 2 years later, I actually sold that house and it had already doubled in value. So,
Look at that.
yeah, but if I had bought the car did not double in value.
It's appreciated.
Right,
Yeah, right?
exactly. And so I started helping my friends, and they were like, "You need to get your license. You should be really doing this like legit professionally, legally, like helping, people with buying real estate." And so I did. I jumped in, got my license. I left corporate, and the rest is history.
Yeah, and here we are today.
Yeah, here
Love
we
that.
are.
Yeah. And now for marketing, what do you like to do to get your name out there, to get the type of services that you do, the clients that you've helped? Are you, is it word of mouth? How are you marketing yourself online? Are you on TikTok? Are you YouTube, Instagram? Talk to me about that.
So, great question. I love talking to people, right? So, most of my business is referral. It's people that know me, they like me, they trust me. And then at some point last year, I started recording videos. At some point, I was up to recording 4 a day. And right now, I'm working to get right back there
Okay.
to do that. And so, my favorite platforms are Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube to
Okay.
use that. Like, I really like to educate people and empower them, right? Because real estate can change your life. It's not about just, hey, let's buy a house, let's sell a house. This is an asset that will pay you every month if you set it up the right way. So that's what I'm passionate about.
I love it. Thank
Yeah.
you. And then let's see. How do you stay up to date on the latest trends and developments in the real estate market? And what resources do you like to rely on?
So I am always learning, right? Whether I have two different coaches, one specifically for real estate. So I'm with colleagues around the country that do this at a very high level,
Okay.
and we learn from each other, right? I'm always reading articles, whether they're online, magazines, books. I'm a really big business book reader. That's a personal development that's really important to me. So I'm always like, hey, what's going on here? What's going on here? I'm talking to developers in our area. Like, I like to know what's happening in the area so then I can share those things with other people.
Absolutely. I love
Yeah.
it. Thank you. And then what are some of the most important factors that buyers and sellers should consider when choosing a real estate agent to work with, in your opinion?
Yes. Okay. So when you're choosing an agent to work with, you want to work with someone that's knowledgeable, right? But the most important thing is someone that you have a great rapport with. You've got to know that they have your back and that they have your best interest at heart. And if you don't feel that by questions that you ask, the way that they respond to you, how they communicate, how timely is it, that probably is not the best person for you. Doesn't mean that they're not a great agent, but you've got to find the right person that works well for you and with your style.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I feel like you got to have that trust with your agent. If you,
You
don't,
do.
like, I don't know that it's going to work. It's going to be really hard if you guys don't trust each other. Or if they
Agreed.
don't
This
trust
is
you.
your probably, most likely, your largest financial asset that you will have.
Exactly.
So the person that's representing you, you want to know that they have your back,
That's
right?
Yep.
That they're treating you the same way that they would treat their mom, their daughter, or another loved one that they have. Yeah.
I agree with that. I love that you just said that. So, yeah. And then, what factors should buyers consider when choosing between urban, suburban, or rural living, in your opinion?
So, what speaks to you? Where do you really want to live? What lifestyle do you want to have? Do you want to be able to walk to shops and cafes and restaurants? Do you want to drive? Do you want to be able to see the stars at night?
Right.
Like, do you want to hear animals? So all those things are factors. And another thing is your commute. I tell people, like, now we're in the age where people are really working remotely a lot, but some of that's starting to change, right?
Yeah.
We're hearing about companies mandating people come back to the office 5 days a week next year. So you need to be realistic with what type of commute time are you up for?
Yeah.
And what I tell people is you want to live as close as you can so that your lifestyle isn't affected, especially if you have kids or other responsibilities that you have to do. So you really want to take into consideration that commute time.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
What have been some of your most memorable stories or situations that you've had with your clients? Like maybe something you were able to help them accomplish. Some people like never had a home and you literally just like opened that door for them, literally.
Yes. So a couple come to mind, but one is a young lady who really thought it was impossible for her to purchase a home. And I said, okay, let's sit down, let's you chat about this. And so we strategized, and what ended up happening is she bought something that was higher in budget than she even anticipated, and here's why. She bought something that was a 3-bedroom, 3-bath house. She rented out the other 2 rooms. So what ended up happening is those 2 roommates covered all of her living expenses. She was the owner, or she is the owner because she still has this house, but she has no expenses. So she went from renting, paying $2,000 a month, to owning and paying nothing.
The dream.
Yeah, it's the dream. And this is the thing, it's achievable. And I wish someone had taught me this when I was that age, because I owned a 3-bedroom townhouse, but I didn't have anyone living in those rooms. So I covered all the expenses. I would be so much further ahead had someone just enlightened me to the fact of everyone needs somewhere to live.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Yep.
Right? And so you can offer that to them, and it's going to help you out in the long run.
Absolutely. See, and now that's why you're a real estate agent. Now you can pass on that knowledge. People are going to listen to this podcast, and you're just, what is it? Wealth is knowledge, or health is wealth. I don't know. You know what I'm trying to say? Like,
I get it.
Right?
I get it, yes.
Like spreading that information. So I'm glad. It sounds like you're in the right industry because you want to help people. And based on your experiences, maybe positive ones, negative ones, and now you just want to take people to that next level and help them succeed. And
I do.
Right?
I do. And so the tagline for my business too is creating wealth through real estate. And so that's why I started Leverage for Legacy. And that's a coaching platform of mine where I really help coach people who want to change their entire lifestyle and like help real estate to actually pay for it.
Yeah.
Like maybe they want to leave their 9 to 5 eventually, or they just have big dreams of being able to take care of their parents in the later years or whatever. But real estate is a vehicle that can help you to do that.
I love it. Thank you. And since you're into coaching, have you considered maybe doing like a coaching program or a workshop?
Yes. So I was coaching, then I took a little hiatus to regroup.
Yeah.
And so in 2025, I will start coaching again once a month for a week at a time. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
And then where can people find that information? Will it be on your website
It
once
will.
it's announced?
Yes. And we'll announce all the dates. They can sign up.
What is your
We'll
website?
go for clresidential.com.
Beautiful. Thank you. And then where do you see yourself in the next 5 years as a person and with your business?
So with my business, I really see myself flying between here and Florida.
Okay.
Back and forth. Florida is my favorite state. I will say that. We own beach rental property there. And I like helping other people to do that as well.
Yeah.
So I really see myself going back and forth between the two and coaching people to help them to build their real estate dreams.
Beautiful. I love that. Yeah. Florida has some nice weather. I mean, despite the hurricanes when they get scary, but like throughout that, like it's ideal. Like I love it. You get the beach, you get all that experience. And
coastal living is the absolute best.
You're like, so if you're looking for coastal living, come to Valencia.
Yes, that's
She'll
right.
help you with that.
That's right.
And then what do you see as the biggest challenges facing the real estate industry in the next few years, or maybe now, and how do you think they can be addressed?
Well, I definitely believe that we don't have enough housing to meet the demands of
People wanting to come here.
Exactly. We don't. Like new construction, they can't keep up with the demand for housing. So I think that will be something that will need to be addressed, right? And you see a lot of multi-family housing being developed right now, especially in this area. And then what we see lack of is more single family houses, right?
Yeah.
Unless you're like, you start to get far out where you're on a lot of acreage, but we're really missing that opportunity. So I think that over time, that will definitely need to be addressed, like to help people to make sure that we have enough housing for everyone. And I think we'll start to see more of some of our older housing developments being revitalized and refurbished to meet the needs of the modern individual and the modern family.
I didn't think about that part too, because it's true. Like times are changing. People want to upgrade, renovate, refresh their home. They are like, okay, I think it's time. We've been here for a bit, so yeah.
Yeah, because people need more of an open floor plan. They need office space in their house. Which some of the older homes did not.
That is so true, especially with COVID and everything that happened. It really just changed a lot for a lot of people, and like from especially
like that.
Yes, right. Like before, you're like, oh, we don't have an extra room, but that's fine. I go to work. Like, why would I need that? And then it's like, wait, I have a whole bunch of stuff and I need privacy. I need space.
Right.
Like, I need this. So that's become like a good, bad problem to have.
Exactly.
Kind of,
yeah, exactly. Yeah. New opportunities.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Love that. And then let's see. How do you stay organized and manage your time effectively as a real estate agent, especially when dealing with multiple clients and transactions?
That's a really good question. So it's all about time blocking for me, putting blocks on the calendar. This is when I'm recording. This is when I'm doing lead generation. This is when I'm working on this particular client's files and things. And of course, things always come up. But I think really the key for me is having an assistant. I have an assistant that helps me to stay where I need to be and doing what I need to be doing, right? So it can't just fall all on me. You need help, right?
Yeah.
You've got to leverage things out
Absolutely.
and get the help you need so you can serve more people.
Exactly. No, and on that subject of having an assistant, is she the only one that you have like with you, like in your company? Do you have other employees?
No, she's it for now. Like my husband also is a part of the business. He is licensed.
Awesome. Let's shout him out.
His name is Marcus. Love him. We've been married for 19 years.
Congrats.
He does anything and everything that I need. So he does showings, paperwork when I need it, just whatever I need done, he just does it.
That's amazing.
So
like
awesome.
You've got your assistant and your husband. Like that's the dream team, right?
And my children.
There you go.
Yeah,
that's it. I love it. Is there anything maybe that I have not touched on that you would like to share with our audience? Maybe you have an upcoming event coming up. Maybe you're changing something up or adding something.
Yes. So I would just like to say, watch out for Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube because there's a lot of good information that we are launching for you to empower you and to educate you in the real estate market.
Wonderful. You heard it here first. So be on the lookout for Valencia and CL Residential.
Yes.
They're coming.
Yeah, we're coming.
Coming soon to a mobile phone and laptop near you.
Yes.
Love it. And then I guess my final question is going to be, do you have a quote or a saying that maybe has inspired you or you've heard someone tell you that's just stuck with you? And would you like to share that wisdom with our listeners?
Yes. On the other side of fear is opportunity. A lot of times we are so scared to move, especially into a territory that's unfamiliar to us, and we get stuck. But as soon as we make that jump to the other side, the skies and the heavens open.
That is so
and your opportunity is awaiting you.
Right? You just got to take that leap.
That is something that has stuck with me, especially in times like where you're scared, where I'm scared, and I'm like, I just got to cross to the other side.
Yep.
Then you get there and you look back and you're like, oh my goodness, if I had not taken this leap of faith, I would not have seen the beauty of this opportunity over here.
No, I think that is a wonderful and beautiful message, and I think that will resonate with a lot. Even with myself, sometimes I'm scared to do things that I don't know, or I'm like, oh my gosh, is that the right decision that I need to do? Like, I don't know. Like, maybe it's not. I shouldn't do it. But then you do it, and you're like, oh my gosh, thank God that I did, or thank God that I pushed myself.
That's right. So, and then also, you get to the other side, and maybe things don't work out quite the way that you expected. You learned something in that experience, and you grew in that experience. So it's worth it. Right? It's all about your perspective. It's all about how you look at the journey that you're on.
Yes. No, that is such a powerful message. I love that. And I actually have another question too.
Sure.
So when you have employees that you're looking for, maybe later on in the future, what are you looking out for? And like, what type of people do you want to be around? And I know sometimes it's hard to like retain people. Like, talk to me a little bit about that as a business owner.
Awesome. So I'm looking for people who are detailed oriented and people oriented, right? They may not be the best at exactly of the job description, but they're resourceful. They want to get things done. They want to please people. They want to make sure we get to the end of the journey, right? So I'm looking for people who want to learn, like they thrive off learning. They want to grow. They want to develop, right? They don't want to be the same person that they've been for the last 5 years.
Yeah.
They want to grow. So that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, I love that. And then a little bit more on that. When it's hard to like, as a business owner, find that right person.
Yes.
When do you know that it's time to like, I guess, let them go or keep them, or like if it's not working out? Because I know it's kind of hard. Like you have to do that. Like
I know.
You have,
and it's not fun.
It's not fun. So I know some entrepreneurs who have trouble with that as well. But it's like you have to like do what's best essentially for the company and the growth, right?
So I've had an employee that I just kept way too long because I'm like, I believe in you. You can do this. You have so much potential. But when they don't believe in themselves or they actually want to do better, all it is it's holding you back.
Yes.
So the sooner that you really come to grips with the reality of who they are and their work ethic, you just got to cut them loose. Because you can't find the right person until you let go of the baggage that you got over here.
Yes.
And that's hard.
It is.
Especially for me, someone that loves people and I want to do all that I can for them, develop them. But at the end of the day, you just got to be honest with yourself.
Yes.
Because you know where it's going.
Yes, exactly. And like you said, you can't do that for them. Like you have you have all the resources, but you have to meet me halfway, right?
Exactly.
You have to want it as well. I can't make you want it.
No.
Right?
That's right. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. These are some like wise things and like some hardships that entrepreneurs go through. So thank you so much for being on the podcast. We really appreciate your time, and the wisdom you gave today was amazing.
Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Absolutely. All right. There we go. That was good.
Okay.
That was really
I was going to ask you what you thought. Yeah.
No, I love it. I think